One of the most valuable services you can offer to your clients as an agency is onboarding and training when it comes to their marketing automation of choice. In VBOUT, we've developed a great program over the course of a few years that worked really well with our clients, not only to help them succeed on the platform, but also to do proper setup and for long-term retention. Now, onboarding services can be resold at any price you want. You can take it on yourself. And what I'm about to share with you are the entire layout, all the presentations we've put together over the years, and how you can possibly package it so you can sell it at a premium price. Now, some of the suggested pricing could be an express onboarding service, which is about $1,500, or a full onboarding service, which we currently offer at $3,500. Whether you sell it at the same price tag, a little bit less, it's totally up to you. But let me go over everything that we do cover and how you can do it yourself so you can make extra revenue. All right, this is the outline. The way we do onboarding is usually one-on-one. We set up about 8 sessions in total. We cover everything on the platform, and we break down the process between showing them how the platform works. We provide the technical support outside of these sessions, of course, so we can help them get their domains, their website tracking codes, and all their templates properly installed. And also best and most recent tips and tricks on how to do marketing correctly. So it's a combination of 3 things. These are the 3 main areas we cover. And you can see in session 1, we usually go over the platform, the client goals, what they are trying to set up, overall connecting domain names and such. Session 2, we go over data architecture, how to get their contacts in place and store the leads and do lead scoring. Session number 3, we go over email marketing, including templating, best practices, how to optimize open rates, and how to use the built-in VBOUT email marketing tools. In session 4, we go over automations, workflows, and funnels, then landing pages, social media, pipeline, and finally, we stretch out maybe like a month or 2 months down the road to do a follow-up and assessment. Let me dive deeper into each one of these, starting from session 1. Usually in session 1, we verify tracking codes, we verify SPF, DKIM, all the sending domains, any white labeled landing page domains as well, connecting all the channels, set up browser push, and making sure pretty much everything is running smooth. We do, of course, introduce ourselves to make sure we are on the same term. And we do have some pre-call requirements. So the client needs to come in on the call with DNS access if they have GoDaddy. They need to have back-end website logins if they're WordPress, preferably also an FTP. Now, if you have a WordPress site, you can install a plugin like a file manager, but we require the FTP to upload our service worker for browser push notification. That's the only reason we need it. So if the client does not need browser push setup, you don't need FTP access at all. Okay? So this is the outline. As you can see, we go over everything, including setting up their account users, like all the team members, permissions, and so on, and a general introduction. But this is probably about an hour and a half, an hour of their time if they've come into the platform prepared with these requirements. Okay. Session number 2, data architecture. Everything around leads, contacts, lists, fields, custom fields, and how they should flow. And ideally, we require the client to come in with an Excel file, a CSV file of their current contacts. If they don't have it, it's okay, but preferably as a pre-call requirement to have that ready. In that exercise, we go over the lead scoring framework, and we have an exercise sheet for it. I'll show it to you in a second. Understanding their lists and forms. So what are the forms on the website? Which ones need to be replaced with a native VBOUT form, and so on. We help them offline to integrate those forms, of course, and then managing contacts and how the lead activity feed works. Now, there are some things in between that might take place. For example, how to connect VBOUT to Salesforce or other CRMs. So this conversation also takes place in this session too. It's a heavy session, but it's certainly the foundation for using marketing automation properly. We talk a little bit in that presentation about lead flow and how leads should flow from other systems to VBOUT as a centralized location. And then we can synchronize from VBOUT to other systems. This is the ideal flow for lead. And also we help them create the foundation for their forms and custom fields. So if they're collecting qualifying questions like, what is your budget? Have you used other platforms before? So whatever you want to create for the client, this will be also on this call. And when it comes to lead scoring, we have a lot of resources on it, including in the previous module that I covered, how you can go over the lead scoring framework and install email-based, web-based, and other filters. These are just examples here. For example, if someone opened an email, give them 5 points, click the link, 5 points. If they unsubscribe, deduct 5 points, and so on. Okay. Now you can include on this page all the different things you're set up, but these are just made for example right now. So this is session number 2. Session number 3, we talk about email marketing, templating, and we have an amazing presentation called Email Marketing Best Practices. Everything here from A/B testing, chunk sending, how IP reputation works, and IP warm-up works. This is probably more relevant if the client needs dedicated IP pools. The power of personalization, how to upload and create themes, and finally email reports. Now ideally, if they could send one test campaign to an internal team list, that's great. But if they don't, then it's not an issue. Okay. This is a very interesting session because email is a core part of any automation. All right, session number 4, my personal favorite. We actually show you everything that you need to know about automation, and we have a presentation about the strategies of marketing funnels. Now, funnels and automation, they work hand in hand. So a marketing funnel could potentially have different automations working together. So we just covered the strategy. Clients love these, and we have a full-on presentations that talk about it. And we, of course, make them understand, what are triggers, filters, actions, delays. Everything that I covered in my previous video modules, you'll be pretty much introducing to them. Okay. Any best practices, add your own personality to it. And as a requirement, I'll recommend them to create a template and list few automations you can get on the call and build together. Here are some simple automations like content nurture is pretty popular. Tag automation is pretty popular, web push, and form opt-ins. All of these have been covered in previous modules, so hopefully you can revert back to these, okay? Now, whether you put slides of what you're covering or not is up to you, but I just put these as sample example. All right, session 5, we talk about social media. We have a social media marketing one-on-one presentation, which is about 15-20 minutes. Also, how you use the scheduler, mass posting, how to manage your assets, and what's available in your content library. How to use social media groups in VBOUT. Not the groups on Facebook, but more creating folders of profiles. The listening and the collaboration tool within the system. This is a really fun session for everyone because social media is very easy to learn and very easy to operate. So not a lot of learning involved. But the presentation is solid, and we do recommend them just creating some scheduled posts as a sample and doing a hashtag search. All right, moving on to session number 6, landing pages. We have a presentation about how to create landing pages that convert, landing page settings and options, how to use the builder personalized pages with names and relevant contact information, and then performance and heat map. Okay. Definitely we recommend before the call to create and play around with the landing page engine so the client is over with some of their suggestions. All right, in session 7, we pretty much conclude all the main product features. We have a presentation about creating meaningful reports, how you can schedule reports, discuss any challenges and efficiencies in using the platform so far, how you can share and schedule automated reports, and the task management tool, which is what we call the pipeline tool. This is optional. If the client does not need it, you can certainly skip that part. So these are all the presentations. In session 8, which I listed before, is just a review and any follow-on Q&As. We do recommend spacing it out like a month to two so the client have accumulated enough data. But session 8 as a good follow-on, I think is a good option. Okay. What we recommend at the end of session 7 is to perhaps request a review from the client if they're content with the process. Have your review channels ready. And even if you can do a case study with the client, it's even better, right? Case studies are very important for your business. And one of the next modules I'll be covering a great framework for building case studies for your business. Okay, so keep on the lookout for the next module. On the last slide, I've hyperlinked every single presentation. So the lead and content inventory, the email marketing and guidelines for best practices, building landing pages to convert, lead scoring framework, workflows, and email content toolkit. This is a third party, so please do not distribute it. Just have it for your own reference. And also, I recommend hyperlinking every session you record with the client so they have references back to it. So if it's a Zoom recording, just hyperlink them every session. So this is our onboarding format. I recommend you put your own personality into it, adjust it and adapt it to your own design and branding, of course. Make it look prettier, and if you want to add more to it, by all means. This is just the shell for it. We did spend years and years building it, so what you're getting is really the things that worked really well with our clients, and it justifies the value we've been charging, which is $3,000, $3,500 for. Okay? All right, this is it. Hopefully you find this helpful, and I'll see you on the following module.